Hi everyone, it's Marla at Twinstrology, and this is the new moon in Taurus report for twin flames. Actually, this report is probably going to be an energy report for approximately the first 2 weeks of May. There's a lot of very intense energies going on. I'm sure many of you have felt it. As we release a lot of issues around the masculine, old patterns having to do with control and domination and violence. I see many of you struggling right now. It's a little bit staggered, so you might see one person going through it, excuse me, and then a couple days later, someone else going through it, and then a couple days later, you might find yourself going through it. Of course, if all the twin flames went through it at one time, that would be way too much energy. So we have to do this little by little. We're doing it over time and releasing this old masculine energy, this old negativity. We're raising the vibration of the planet. Unfortunately, it's a very painful process to go through. It can really put one into the dark night of the soul. And someone asked me recently, what is the dark night of the soul? To me, the dark night of the soul is when you are in a period of transition. And in order to move to the next phase, you have to raise your vibration. And that means you have to release old negative patterns. It's killing off of your ego. And again, we'll never truly kill our ego. But we need to get the ego into a place of alignment so that our soul is more in control than our ego. So things get shaken up inside of you in order for you to release old patterns. You often see something negative about your life that you didn't realize before. And it's very painful to go through. It feels like you're dying or the deepest, darkest depression you've ever been through. Like everything is pointless, worthless, hopeless. You're never going to get anywhere. And Spirit's been telling me that we really need to stay focused through this and not let it rule us too much. They know it's difficult and painful to release these old patterns, but we're letting our emotions run away with us too much. Remember that you're connected to your twin. So what you're feeling, they're feeling. So try to just understand that it's a phase. And if this comes to you, just keep telling yourself, in a couple days, it'll be better. Everything seems hopeless now, but in a few days, things will be better. And indeed, they will be, because this will allow you to raise yourself up in vibration. But let me tell you, when you're going through it, it doesn't feel that way. And I've been through the dark night of the soul many times. And it's very hard to see that when you're going through it. It takes a lot of discipline. And the more you clear, the more you'll be able to just say, all right, I know this is just a phase. If you need help, reach out to someone. If possible, try and reach out to someone that's also a twin flame, because not everyone understands the process. So that's what we're facing at the time of this new moon. The new moon is, of course, when the sun and the moon join up together. It's going to be at 16 degrees and 41 minutes of Taurus. Lots of Taurus energy going on right now. We have the new moon there. We have Mercury in retrograde there. Venus is in Taurus now. And Taurus is all about finding ourselves, finding what we value about ourselves, what our skills are. And that's really what Spirit wants us to focus on right now, is ourselves. Continue to take the time to rest as well, because these energies are very changeable. So go with the flow a little bit. And if you're feeling down, if you're feeling tired, rest. And then when it shifts and you feel a bit better, take that time to maybe do a little extra. But don't try and keep forcing yourself. It's sometimes hard for us to realize the amount of energy that's expended from us when we're going through these large transmutations. And remember that twin flames are releasing this energy for the whole planet. It's a lot of hard work. Give yourself credit for that. So the Sabian symbol for the new moon is a symbolic battle between swords, the disciples of might, and torches, the disciples of enlightenment. So you can see from that symbol how powerful this new moon is going to be. And it really speaks to what we're going through right now, which is a battle between the current powers that be. Some might call them the Matrix. Some might call them the forces of darkness. It's a bit strong, I don't know. And us, light workers. All of us that are here to help bring love and light to the planet. And we're kind of in the midst of an important battle right now, in which we're equalizing. And we're doing that by equalizing the masculine and feminine energies. And part of getting to that stage, of course, is releasing the old masculine paradigms. You can see that Mars is retrograde and Pluto are retrograde. Those two planets represent the masculine energy. And we also have the asteroid Osiris, which I'm using to represent the masculine energy. He's also retrograde in Sagittarius. You can see we have this whole plethora of planets and asteroids retrograde in Sagittarius. Union, Osiris, Saturn, Mars, and loving. So there's a big focus on shaking up our belief systems around these themes. The masculine, authority, love, and for twin flames, your unions. So we have a lot of energy building up. You're probably aware that we have 5 planets now in retrograde. Mars, Mercury, Jupiter, Saturn, and Pluto. We also have asteroid Juno in retrograde. And then I put in some asteroids so you can see some of the asteroids in retrograde. I mentioned Union, Osiris, and Loving. We also have Valentine, which means true love, and Alma, which represents the soul, and Logos, which represents Christ consciousness. All of these are retrograde, and when planets or asteroids are retrograde, that focus, that energy gets internalized. And we're thinking about it and reassessing things. So we have Jupiter and Pluto forming a trine with the Sun and the Moon. This is helping us transform. It's aspecting the nodes. So there's destiny at play. The asteroid Wisdom is going to be conjunct the new moon. And this really is a time of big influx of wisdom opening up. And as twin flames, you're going to be able to tap into that. Asteroid Angel is sextiling the new moon and conjuncting the south node. Asteroid Alma is stationing retrograde on May 6th. Trine to Jupiter, who's stationing direct on May 6th. And when planets or asteroids station, it means they kind of stopped in the sky, frozen. Makes the energy very powerful. Jupiter, of course, is the largest planet. So when he stations, you can really feel that energy. We're going to be going deep within our soul for the next, for a while, with Alma being retrograde. I don't have my sheet handy, of course, that tells me when Alma's going direct. But it's going to be for a couple months at least, I think. So really going inward towards our soul, and that's going to be the focus, especially as we're trining Jupiter with this energy. And wisdom, of course, is there trining, and it's an orb of this new moon. Seems to me like a big influx of new knowledge is going to be imparted to us. And it may not be something that you feel like on May 6th, but it may come to you. Listen to it. Go use your intuition. That's what I mean by going within your soul. Tapping into the divine within you. And then we also have a conjunction coming up between Venus and Atlantis. And I want to talk about this in more detail. So I'm going to pull up another chart. This is the chart for May 10th. This is 4 days after the new moon. And you can see Venus catches up to Atlantis and they form an exact conjunction at 13 degrees of Taurus. And the Sabian symbol is on the beach, children play while shellfish grope at the edge of the water. Very interesting that the Sabian has to do with the beach and the water. You may be asking, why is Atlantis important? Well, it's my belief that all twin flames have had a previous lifetime in Atlantis. And when we have a conjunction like this, we're bringing in that Atlantis energy. So, conjunct Venus, we're bringing in this love energy that how can I explain this? The love that we felt in Atlantis. Now in Atlantis, we lived in another dimension. So it was a more powerful, higher form of love. Now the Sabian is telling us that children are on the beach playing while shellfish grope at the edge of the water. So it's like two worlds happening at the same time. The children are playing and the shellfish are on the shore. Two separate worlds happening simultaneously. To me, it's kind of representing these two dimensions coming together, the third dimension and the fifth dimension. Perhaps being able to see the bigger picture, the macro, the children playing, and the micro, those things that go on underneath our notice, things that are happening simultaneously while we're not necessarily aware of the other thing. So this conjunction would be special and powerful enough on its own, but then you can see it's conjunct wisdom and all the other aspects that are also happening around 13 degrees. We have Neptune at 12 degrees of Pisces. We have asteroid Alma at 13 degrees. We have Saturn at 14 degrees. We have Jupiter stationed at 13 degrees. I should have said Alma stationed still. And the moon is going to be traveling over the 13th degree of Cancer on the 10th. And karma is on the 13th degree of Gemini. This is going to be a very large influx of energy. You can see the trine here between this Atlantis-Venus conjunction and Jupiter and the soul. Jupiter is expansion. You might feel your heart become huge. Your heart chakra might blow open. For some, this is the type of energy that can wake people up. Yes. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying every twin flame is going to suddenly wake up on May 10th or every twin flame is going to come into union on May 10th. I'm not saying that. I'm saying there's an opportunity here for a massive influx of energy, an influx of love energies that has the possibility of awakening people. Memories of Atlantis, knowledge from Atlantis could be brought forth. I want to just go over a few of the other Sabians to give you an idea of the power that's going to be going on. So wisdom, which is going to be conjunct that Venus Atlantis. This Sabian is an old man is attempting, with a degree of success unsuspected by him, to reveal the mysteries to a motley group. So knowledge being passed down. New wisdom being brought to us. Jupiter is going to be on the Sabian. Finely lettered names and mysterious lines are seen. It is a family tree. So you're probably asking, well, what does that have to do with it? Well, the masculine energies that we're clearing have to do with ancestral lineage energies that we're releasing. We're not just clearing up the masculine around us, we're clearing up thousands of years of these energies. And his twin flames as well, your ancestors. Think of your past lives in Atlantis and the ancestors there. Alma is going to be on the Sabian. An ancient bas relief carved in granite remains a witness to a long-forgotten culture. So, Atlantis could be that long-forgotten culture. This is talking about ancient civilizations and being a witness to those civilizations. Neptune is on 12 Pisces, and of course, Neptune rules the oceans and the water. Pisces is the ocean. The Sabian is an examination of initiates into the sanctuary of an occult brotherhood. So, we're being initiated right now. We're being tested to see if we're have what it takes to become part of this occult brotherhood. Ancient knowledge being handed down to us. We're having to prove ourselves. So, a lot of powerful energy, you can tell by those Sabians. Oh, karma. Karma Sabian is two people at widely different points are in conversation with each other by means of telepathy. So know that you are communicating with your twin flame by telepathy, no matter where you are in the world in comparison to them. Keep that in mind when you're feeling your emotions, that they're feeling what you're feeling. Or if you're experiencing a very hard time and it's not going with your surroundings, then remind yourself that it could be them that you're feeling. I think it will be easy for us in the next couple weeks to tap into our intuition or our psychic abilities. So I'm sure, you're thinking this all sounds great, but there's another catch that I want to talk to you about. Yes, we'll have this big influx of Atlantis love energy, but at the same time, we're still dealing with this masculine energy. I'm trying to remember what I talked about now. Asteroid Osiris, which is representing the masculine energy, is retrograde in Sagittarius, squaring the nodes of destiny. Asteroid Union, which represents twin flames, union, is retrograde in Sagittarius, squaring the nodes of destiny. So we have to still release things. There's still challenges. And we have a cross forming. We've had this T-square between Jupiter and Neptune, both of them squaring Saturn, trying to manifest our dream. And part of helping us manifest that is shaking up these old energies and releasing them. And looking at our beliefs and what beliefs are holding us back. What beliefs are stopping us from going into union? And then we have karma coming through that T-square and forming a cross. So 2 oppositions. Karma opposite Saturn. Saturn is also known as the Lord of Karma. So this is a very karmic aspect. Squaring Jupiter opposite Neptune. If you want to manifest that dream, we have to release this old karma. And by karma, I mean karma in your life, having to do more than likely with how you've interacted with the masculine energy. Could be your father, your brothers, past relationships, and also this ancestral karma, this collective karma. That's the way for us to move forward. But it can be releasing some dark energies. And then as this Atlantis and Venus conjunction moves on, they will separate. They're both going to be moving on. That's going to bring in upgrades. Most of you know that you can't sustain a high vibration forever. Eventually, you will be brought back down to the 3D, and that's going to trigger a release of the old patterns, and an upgrade of your system, an upgrade of your light body, so that you can go on to the next phase. On this is just a continual cycle that we're going through. So you can expect within, a few days of the 10th of May, you're going to start going through upgrades and purging. And I think with asteroid angel conjunct the south node, we're going to be bringing in some wisdom from the angelics, or many of us, I think, are angelics. And so you might have some wisdom come forward for you. Definitely pay attention to your dreams, your intuitions, signs and synchronicities that are going to be happening. Again, I'm not sure if I talked about all these asteroids again, but I mentioned Union and Osiris, but I wanted to show some of the other ones that are in retrograde. Loving, Valentine, which is true love, and Christ consciousness. We're really being focused in towards our soul right now. So like I said, take time to rest and relax, because not much is happening. Everything's slowing down. All right, I think I'm going to end it there. I just want to reiterate some things that I'm getting from Spirit to help you. One is to go outside, to get fresh air, be out in nature. That's going to help you get in touch with your soul. And do your utmost to keep your thoughts positive during this time. Like I said, they know it's very difficult, but it's going to help us, okay? Always remember that you're manifesting. And ask your guides, ask your angels for help when you need it. That could be another interpretation for angels on the South Node. Okay, know that you have guides, people in spirit that are helping you. And I'm just going to end it on the Sabian symbol for asteroid union, which I mentioned was retrograde in Sagittarius. The Sabian is a Chinese laundry. So know that you are cleaning up these old energies. You are being purified. You're cleaning these things up for the collective. You could think of twin flames right now as being a Chinese laundry, and the collective is bringing all their dirty laundry to us, and twins get the awesome task of having to clean it all up. And so when you get into that dark place, or if you're feeling physically very bad, just remember the mission that you're on and be grateful to have been given this opportunity to be here on the planet right now and helping with the ascension. And just trust that everything's going to work out fine. If you'd like a personal reading with me, visit my website at eclipseastro.com. Follow me on Facebook at Twinstrology and at Eclipse Astrology and Tarot. And I do recommend that you listen to my other energy reports on my channel, Eclipse Astrology. I do those every week, and they will help you navigate. Especially, I recommend you listen to the one I just did for April 30th and the one before that, where I talk about what's happening now. Thank you so much, and I will talk to you in a few weeks at the full moon in Sagittarius.